Hey guys, what's up? You get these messages on the front of videos whenever I've shot half the vlog and forgot to add it in. So I wanted to let you guys know that we have just updated our sticker shop. We are once again doing grab bags. We meant to do this for the whole Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, all of that stuff. But we were celebrating Thanksgiving and we are a small business, it's just us. So it's a little late, but we have them updated now. We will be shipping those out as soon as the orders come in. We have two different options. We have a magnet grab bag that's 3 random magnets for $10, and we have a sticker grab bag that's 7 random stickers for $10. That's up right now on our website, rootsrefuge.com. You've already seen this if you're on our email list, but I'll put the link to that down below. As always, thank you so much for all of your support. You make this dream possible. All right, let's watch the vlog. It's way warmer out here than I anticipated when I put this sweatshirt on and made this cup of hot tea. I just can't keep up with the up and down weather. It's like freezing and then you're sweating and then you're losing your voice and then it's back, but you know, maybe not for long. Yeah, that's been the trend of my second South Carolina winter. I guess to be fair, it's not even actually winter yet, so there is at least that. So part of what I've been dealing with my health over the last year and a half specifically is when it's been really rough. And I've shared some of that with you guys, but I've had some really lasting infection, and I've had a lot of breakthrough with that over the last month. Feeling massively better. I mean, just worlds better. And one funny side effect is I'm not nearly as cold all the time. Now, I'm still very much a frost tender flower. It's like 70 degrees out here right now is why I'm taking the sweatshirt off. Before anybody thinks, oh no, Jess has left us for the warm side. Still definitely cold-natured, but not like I was. Like, I was miserably cold all the time. And it turns out it was just because my body was fighting an ongoing infection.
Yeah. Hey.
What are you doing?
I'm working on a project.
A Christmas project? Super secret Christmas project?
Yeah.
Shark Tank?
Shark Tank. Project Shark Tank.
Did you see where somebody tagged us where they saw a person driving down the road with an actual, like, shark in a tank in the back?
I did.
That was wild.
Yeah, it wasn't made of wood, so it wasn't believable. My kids don't believe you can make a shark tank out of wood.
Yeah.
They're true. It's right. It's true, but
Yeah.
we gotta sell the magic.
Yeah. All right, Maya and Wes are carrying on with their project. I'm gonna pass through the garden, but I have an end goal in mind, which is that big old head of cauliflower down in the high tunnel. Got a good bit of food out here. Some things have really struggled with the up and down weather, but it's okay. Got some nice radishes. Look at that. Those are ready. I'm not going to pull them out because I am doing other things this evening, but I will keep that in mind. Check this out. I planted 3 rhubarb plants. One immediately shriveled up and died, or so I thought. 2 kind of adjusted. They're looking well, but look, new leaf coming up. A lot of times when you're planting perennial things, as long as the roots are still intact and alive, they'll come back around. Today is one of those days. Maybe you know what these are like, where what you really want to do is just sit down and catch your breath. That has been the day that I'm having. I've been very productive and with all those like boring things that don't make you feel great to do, but you know, you're glad once they're done, housekeeping things and all of that. But when I come out into the garden, like so often, I did my silent video last time. Sometimes I like to come out and just really set to work. Sometimes I love to come out and chat. Sometimes I just want to come out and just sit. I'm having one of those moments. I'm probably gonna sit here for just a minute. I'll catch you on the other side. Alright, tea's done. Time to move again. Look at these happy chickens. There's a sandbag in here, and every time I see it, I think it's a chicken laying there. It's not. This space wasn't nearly as messy as the other place, but they've really made quick work of cleaning it out. Still got a little bit to go. Happy high tunnel, happy green stalks. I think everything feels a little happy when it warms up a bit, except for my hair. I will say I think my hair is finally adjusted to South Carolina. It was massive for like months. I like figured out what to do with the humidity. It's very humid out here right now. I was thinking we could do a quick tour of this high tunnel. It's got quite a few things going on in here. I have one particular thing that I know that I'm harvesting today. I've kind of been like waiting and waiting just to see how big it'll get. Now I need to harvest it, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But we have two high tunnels. They are 24, I believe, by 60. I know they're 60 feet long. They're 24 or 26 feet wide. They're from Growers Solution. They're the high sidewall. I'm pretty sure they have set up a page that has all of the components of our kits, just because they were getting asked about it so much. We had the exact same high tunnel in Arkansas. We liked it so much that we came here and ordered 2 more because I just think it adds a lot of versatility. Now, a lot of people ask me, you live in a place where it's, 70 degrees in December. Why in the world would you need a high tunnel? And actually, our season extension, we can grow all through the winter with a little bit of cover. So obviously the high tunnel lets us grow things over winter. But one of the benefits of the high tunnel where we live is that we can put a 50% shade cloth on it and protect things from the heat in the summer. Also covering things. Of course, we've been watering with sprinklers in here. We plan on putting irrigation in. We've got lines run all down the garden belt. It's on the list. But when you live in a very humid place, being able to control the water and not have random showers coming regularly, creating the atmosphere for fungus, and obviously humidity and all that stuff plays into that. It just gives you another level of control. Now I'll tell you that my visions for my high tunnels did not really come true this year. We had some contaminated soil over in that tunnel, so we've put a lot of effort into remediating that with growing mushrooms and different plants that pull toxins. And we'll see in spring how it does. And here, this has sort of just been a hodgepodge, and we're figuring it out. I imagine in the future we'll have both of these spaces way more streamlined and effective, but as for right now, they're growing food. They have grown food. They've taught us a lot of lessons. We've harvested lots of wisdom, and yeah, so right now this is probably the place I'm doing the most gardening, because there are the most things growing here. And I figured today I would show you guys that. So right now we actually have this roll-up door closed down. We went ahead and just like shut it fully. We're not opening that right now. In the summer we leave that entirely up. We did go ahead and roll the sidewalls back up. That is because we are having fluctuating warm to cold, and we haven't had any nights that are super cold. And for reference, here in zone 8, when I say super cold, I mean, more than just a few degrees below freezing. So we've had mild freezes. We had a couple hard freezes earlier on in the winter, and we did close the high tunnel up for that. And if we were to get hard freezes in the forecast again, we would just lower these sidewalls. But everything in here right now can withstand a mild freeze, so there's no point in closing it up. And everything that's going to be killed by a freeze is already dead. So we did do some raised beds in here. They're very shallow, and when we designed this, we wanted this space right here to be open pretty much for what's here now, a staging place for potting up. We may eventually put tables here that we can keep plants potted up, and so far that's worked out how we wanted. We put this particular gravel in here because we were able to get it locally, and we weren't going to put gravel in here, but we were having some drainage issues, so we put the gravel in, and we didn't have enough to do the whole project. And since we started this, that gravel has gone out of stock. So you'll see that half of this greenhouse floor is graveled. Right now I could get this gravel, but it would just be astronomical. So I'm gonna wait until I am able to get it for a more reasonable price. So that's why half the floor is graveled. We did the raised beds, and the general idea in here was that I wanted to put things that were gonna be more perennial. So I put the citrus in. So here I've got kumquat. I've got a few citruses in pots. Here on this side we have some really lovely big artichokes, which these were started from seed here in probably about May, if I remember correctly. Got a few more down there. Right now there are brassicas just kind of plugged in between these places. So some of my citrus was really struggling because we had interplanted asparagus and the citrus was not a fan. So I'm probably going to move that asparagus out. I'm not 100% sure yet. Cut it all back the other day and I'm going to see how the citrus recovers. That's a lime. This is a Meyer lemon. These were two of the citrus plants that were struggling more, this one and this one, which this one is sick in some way, and I think I'm just going to prune it back quite a lot. I was waiting to see if it responded differently with that asparagus off of it, but it's not looking great. Here are some banana trees, banana plants. They're technically not trees. Banana plants are actually classified as an herb, but these, the freeze killed back. I was kind of curious to see if with just some cover you could get bananas through the winter here. I don't think it's going to happen. I can't remember what this variety is called, but I ordered it from a lady on Etsy that basically you tell her where you're going to be growing it. She sells all different kinds of bananas and she sends you the variety that's supposed to be best for your situation to get fruit. So I'm not cutting these back yet just because they're putting up fresh green leaves, and I'm just kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I almost chopped them down the other day, but I was like, we'll wait and see. I will come in here though towards the end of the winter and cut these pups out and repot them up because I do not want there to be just like massive clusters of bananas in here. This is called a calamondin, which is an extremely sour little fruit. Here we have some red limes. Check that out. Also very sour. We've cut into a couple of these and just eaten them, but I think that I would do better to use these to flavor something, and so I'm thinking maybe something that'll be sweet, like a cake or an ice cream. I don't know. If you got any suggestions, I'm open. Here, I'm super proud of this. This is an orange. Looks like I'm gonna get 3 off of this year, and that is obviously not orange sustainability, but it is pretty awesome to be growing citrus. When we first started looking at moving here, when I looked the area up, I had looked like a neighboring town up, and it said that it was zone 7B a couple years ago. So the whole time we were planning our move, I thought we were just kind of making a move across the board, and I was going to be in the same zone. And actually we bought our land and then I looked it up, and I don't know if the area had been reclassified as zone 8 or if maybe just that difference in the map from where I had originally looked to here. But this is zone 8. The frost dates are very similar to where we were in Arkansas, but in Arkansas it did get pretty significantly colder in the winter, and the citrus plants, all the citrus plants I have are zone 8 approved, so they're all like a little hardier than what some citrus may be. But yeah, it's obviously if we can grow it here. Now I don't know for sure if these really need to be in the high tunnel, because I've had multiple people tell me that they've grown citrus here outside. Now they said that you might have to go out and wrap the trees, but I felt like this was a safer bet. I am considering though taking out some of the smaller things like the little calamondin. I don't know, it may be okay between those banana plants, but I've thought about taking out some of the smaller ones and getting really big pots and putting them maybe in some of the walkways just to maximize the space, because I could grow a lot of other things in these beds, whereas here like I just have these two plants. But I mean, I have an orange, so come on. I've been checking on my orange every single day and trying to think of what I'm gonna do with it, because there are a lot of us, so one orange, like we could slice it up and everybody could get a little bite. But I was thinking of maybe making like a salad with the orange tossed in, or again like something like a dessert or something with that orange mixed in, so that we could all like enjoy something from the orange. So over here I have lots of Brussels sprouts. The sprouts are still a little on the smaller side, so probably go a little longer on them. I planted a lot of these because Brussels sprouts are Maya's favorite thing that grow in the garden, so I made lots of them. Here I have a couple of cabbages. I've got more cabbages planted down here. I have lots more cabbages planted out there in the outside garden. But these were planted earliest. All these brassica plants were moved out here in like early October, maybe like late September. I'd have to go back and look. But because the shade cloth, they were a little protected from the heat. Again, our season extension goes both ways. I'm not just trying to extend through the cool. I'm trying to kind of squeak out a little extra growing when it might be otherwise too hot. Because if you plant cole crops in the ground in a warm place when it's still regularly very warm during the day, a lot of times they go straight to seed. And I think it was because of the shade cloth that these didn't. So we'll be enjoying cabbages soon. I could harvest these now, but obviously the longer I wait, the more volume I'm gonna get from them because they're just getting bigger. And here is actually what I'm out here to pull today. Now I have quite a few heads of cauliflower. You see, there's a cute little one. There's another one. But this big old gigantic head is coming inside the house with me. I really just pulled it up this way for this gratuitous moment right here. Look at that. All right. You can eat brassica leaves if you feel so inclined. I have used broccoli leaves and cauliflower leaves. They're very kind of cabbagey in nature, maybe more kale-y. Probably just gonna throw those to the chickens. I've got a bunch of kale up there that needs to be used too. And here on our farm, we like to say that we're making bacon and eggs whenever we throw garden scraps to the chickens or the pigs. It's not wasting, it's just alleviating the feed bill instead of the grocery bill. And it makes the animals happy to get something fresh from the garden too. Right, look at that. Pretty good, huh? So I have a plan for this, which I will take you inside and show you the start of that plan, and I'll tell you I have a link on my blog that gives like the actual recipe. So our family is blended, and we have one girl. We have the 5 boys that live here with us, and one girl which I gained in marriage to Maya. She's our daughter Malia is 17, and she lives with her mom and stepdad in Las Vegas. She will be here for Christmas, so she'll be here in 2 weeks. And I've been waiting to harvest this head of cauliflower. Of course, I've got a couple more now because Malia loves like spicy pickled vegetables. And I've got a blog post like all about it. It's very versatile. You can throw just about anything in it. But I've got some carrots inside, some red onions, and I've been waiting on this cauliflower because I wanted to make a couple of big jars of this for when Malia gets here. And it needs to really be very good. It really needs to sit for about 2 weeks. That's what makes it the best. And so I wanted to get it started for it to be ready to go by the time she gets here. So there it is. Look at that. Look at heavy. I've been watching this for like weeks and waiting for it to get to the optimum size. Here. Maybe he'll help me remember my mug. So I've actually got some broccolis here too, and I feel like I probably need to pull this guy out because it's looking really like it's starting to get loose. So I'll throw some broccoli in my pickled mix too. I wanted to make soup with that, so we'll see. I held my This is a hitchhiking thumb.
Oh, I thought you were giving us thumbs up.
No, not thumbs up. Hitchhiking.
Oh.
I don't need a ride, but hold on. My cauliflower and broccoli need a ride.
Okay, I'll hold it.
Oh!
Pull this out. Wow, heavy one. I'll take the broccoli.
I love my kids. They're so fun. Oh yeah, I gotta get the chickens' little snack. We're gonna run these leaves down and then come back and finish the tour and get my mug. Hello, chickens. Enjoy your snack. This stuff, I've got quite a few odds and ends here. Some things that the frost kicked back, but they'll still grow. I've got some rose bushes in here that are gonna be transplanted out. This is actually, this guy needs to be potted up. This is actually my oak tree from the acorns that I took from in front of my grandparents' house. So last year in Arkansas, my family home that had been in my family since it was built in the early 1900s was sold out of my family for the first time. I went down there to kind of like say goodbye to the house. I made a video about it. It's actually to date probably one of my favorite videos I've ever made. And I gathered a couple of acorns, and I have the other ones over there. It's smaller, but this is actually the baby oak tree. My great-grandfather planted 2 oak trees in the front yard of what was at the time his home. And then uncle moved into that house. Another uncle moved into my grandmother's house after she passed away. And I gathered a couple of acorns from that tree and brought them potted, obviously, from Arkansas. And here's one of them. The other one's over there. I had 3. One of them didn't make it, but I still have 2 trees. Oh, my hope is to keep potting these up. Once we build our house up here, I want to plant both of these oak trees in the front yard of our house. So basically the progeny of those trees that my great-grandfather planted will be in my front yard, 700 and something miles away from the front yard where he planted those. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, this is all just kind of random odds and ends stuff that needs to find a place. We'll find places for it. This is a lemon tree. It was given to me by a friend. I just fertilized this, so it should green back up. It's looking a little yellow, but it's beautiful. And here are some more brassicas, more cabbages that will come in. One year I planted all of my cabbages at the same time, and when they came in, we ate so much cabbage for like 2 weeks, and then made lots and lots of sauerkraut. But since then, I have always tried to stagger my planting of cabbage. Now I'm gonna have a lot of Brussels sprouts at once, but I think we're probably just gonna start eating those soon, small, because we love those fresh and roasted. I don't really wanna try to preserve them because we so love fresh Brussels sprouts roasted, that we'll just eat them smaller, and that way it kind of staggers the harvest. So yeah, this is basically what you can see. I have some empty space. Do have ginger in the back. You can't see it right now. It's died back, but it will come back in the spring. I did not harvest it up this year because it hadn't gotten really big, so I want to leave it and it'll come back. And so next year we should have really good ginger harvest. And I don't know, still thinking about moving things around in here. Someone had asked me when I was pruning the asparagus back, they were like, why don't you just leave the asparagus, take the citrus out? Because the asparagus doesn't need the high tunnel. So this kind of prized space, you want to use it well. And I'm actually thinking that the best way to use it might be to put these citrus trees in massive pots and plant the beds. So I'm leaning into that right now, but haven't fully made that commitment. We'll just get over the winter and see. Y'all want to know what this is? It's kale, obviously. There's a curly kale, whatever variety that is, 1,000 head or one of them. When we first moved here, those of you who've been here with us will know, but I put this bed up in the front. This was one of the first things I planted was kale from seed over a year ago. And the turkeys ate it back on Christmas Day, and then it just got eaten back, and it just was always very puny because it just kept getting attacked. And then it grew some, but it was essentially, I mean, like bearded dragon food, because it was like the only fresh greens we had growing for a little while. So it's what my son was harvesting for his beardy. Now we moved it up here, and this kale has just like started growing really lush and filling in. I'm curious how big it'll get, you know, once I have all this other kale and I didn't want it anymore. Now it's like, hey, I'll grow. Gardening is so fun. Well, I just wanted to make a quick pop up here. I knew I was gonna come get that cauliflower. I'll put a link down below so you guys can check out what I'm going to be doing with that. And I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me today. God bless you. Until next time.